Hey, Scrappy Peep, Suzanna here today for Elle Studio, and it's release day. Woo woo! That's the July kit, and I used actually most of the add-ons for this large photo swimming layout. I have used a printable, the digital cut file from the printables, and then the stamps, as well as a few of the embellishments from the kit, but then the chipboard and other things that go with this. So I printed one of the 4x6 cards oversized. I printed it on 8.5 by 11 paper, and I thought I was going to do an 8.5 by 11 layout, but this photo ended up being too big for that. So I'm taking that documented, which is the top of a 4x3 card. I'm sorry, I said 4x6 previously. I meant 4x3, and I'm going to use that running down the side of my photo. Also with the add-ons this month is a super awesome polka dot paper. It's tone on tone, and I am using that as a border to go on the left-hand side to square out the layout. And by square out, I mean so that it will look like a square on that white border there. And so that will frame that documented that I used from the printable. Because the paper stacks are not as tall as my photo is, I am going to have to overlap that to create a piece that is long enough for that, but it's easy. It ends up being fairly seamless to that. So this ends up being really a monochromatic layout, just using various shades of blue. And I love that about Elle Studio is that I do a lot of that because there are always multi-shades of a color available in the kit and paper collections. So the digital cut file is actually just the speech bubble. And so I overlapped the speech bubbles and flipped them to be able to create these various hues and shades of the speech bubbles. In the paper stack, you have a darker blue and a lighter blue, and I used both of those to create these various size and shape speech bubbles. I do not have a tutorial of how I did that. If you want to learn how to do that, please leave a comment in the box down below, and I will throw together a video for you showing my Silhouette Studio process of how I was able to do that. So my thought originally was I wanted to incorporate all of the blue speech bubbles just down the side, and I was going to put a conversation in there, but I didn't like the way that I had this sort of free form speech bubbles going down the right hand side, and then I had this very boxy thing on the left hand side. And I really didn't want to put a conversation per se, wasn't my plan. And so I'm going to put this journal card also from the printables. Every month I always print out the PDF more as a reminder. It's kind of like a catalog of what I have available to me, because if you follow my Elle Studio work, you will see that I very rarely use the card directly. I am often going to manipulate that somehow. And so I actually decided to use it as it is. And that way it pushed the speech bubbles up. And I like the way that there's a mix of the outline speech bubbles and a solid speech bubble, and then the chipboard from the summer chipboard stickers. And so that takes away sort of that free form on the right hand side and integrates more of that block feel that is situated on the left hand side of the layout there. But I still feel like I haven't fully closed off the square on the right hand side, so I'm going to use this month's stamp set, and I'm going to use just as one of the cards, the 4x3 cards, and actually one of the actual cards in the kit is I'm going to mimic that same look where you have the diagonal stripy stamp overlaying the dotted stamp, and in two different tones of blue. So I will do exactly that down the length of the page there to close off that square so that there's a defined border on that right hand side there. I was showing you that card from the kit. I want to create that same look. And so I am going to use my favorite things stamp, as well as one of my Pink Fresh Studio stamps. I am not I'm going to call it a stamp purist. I will use what works for me. And so I am mixing the colors from these two. That blue from My Favorite Things, I think it's My Favorite Things, is my go-to when it comes for a navy stamp. So I'm going to ink up my stamp, and because I haven't used these stamps previously, I do like to use them and stamp them off a few times before I stamp, because the way that the ink picks up on the stamp is different the first couple of times, and it holds on to the ink color a lot better if you've used it a couple of times. So that worked out really well and nice and straight. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do such a great job connecting the dots. I'm going to kind of go downhill, but that's okay, because it's water, and water is not perfect either. So I'll clean off my stamp, and then I will have pretty much committed to where everything's going to go at this point. It's just a matter of adhering those things down. So must-haves if you are shopping today for reveal day. Definitely, if you subscribe to the kit, you're already going to get the digital files free. So I definitely recommend those digital files, because those speech bubbles are pretty cool. And I do like the cards. You know, I manipulate the cards every month. Definitely the stamp set. This same technique that I have done with the overlapping stamps, I'm going to do multiple times this month. I'm also sharing with you multiple large photo layouts this month. Those chipboard stickers this month, I love the chipboard stickers always. I love that they're different from other chipboard stickers, but definitely some great summer phrases to use there. And also, you'll see me for my title work. There's navy puffy alpha stickers this month. There's 2 different kinds, and I recommend both of those highly as well. So I'm pulling out some of the ephemera, the die cuts from the kit this month. That one says XOXO, and I'm going to leave that there because I like the way that that darker blue softens the dark blue of my son's cap there, which is the darkest. It's actually a black cap with blue logo on it, the school logo. And so I like the way that that makes that not just stand out. Those are the summer stickers. And you can see I cut the stars out just to use a short piece of that. And I'm actually going to move that closer to his cap off screen, because I like the way that it creates balance better and almost a visual triangle through the colors. So I create visual triangles on my pages because I like the way it moves your eye around the page. Sometimes I use the same 3 elements, but I'm using the same 3 colors, and it's going to be that XOXO across the cap to that documented where the stars are, and then down to the journal card and/or that sticker that I've got right there, the chipboard that says "in the pool." I'm going to type my journaling, so you will not see me adhere that card down. I really wanted to use that tag there that I'm pushing around, but it didn't fit, and why use it just because you have it if it doesn't work? So I have put all of the elements on the page. It's just a matter of putting in the title now, and I went with the title "Always Our Champ." My son probably should have won this event, but he didn't. But just because he didn't win it doesn't mean he will not always be our champion. And so that was why I went with that title there. And the journaling references that. If you follow my work, know that my son is a very competitive swimmer, and things don't always turn out the way that you expect them to. And that's the best part of competition. It makes it exciting, is that sometimes you have people who give you a run for your money, and you don't always expect that. I really wanted to use so with this month's puffy stickers, you get 2. You have the ones that are tone on tone, and then you get just the navies. And I really wanted to use the navies, but you couldn't see them in that solid block there. So I went with some white ones from a previous collection. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. I will leave you some affiliate links for some shopping if you want to do that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave those in the box down below too. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you enjoy the July kit as much as I have. Take care.